Now, today we found out that the IRS screwed up big time, doled out $620 million to folks who filed false claims for that $8,000 homebuyer tax credit. Now, this comes just as Congress is mulling over whether to extend the credit and make it available not just to first-time homebuyers, but to everyone. But with fraud and extraordinary deals out there, is it time to shut this government handout down before it becomes permanent? Let's ask Mark Grinnis. He is Ernst & Young Real Estate Services leader. Dolly Lenz, Douglas Elliman, vice chairman. Condo Vultures, Peter Zalewski joining us from Miami, and Fox News legal analyst Bob Massey joining us from Las Vegas. We got a great crew. Let me go first to Vegas and Miami. I want to put up a chart if I can. Folks, if you can put up this chart that shows essentially where housing is headed right now. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Look at Las Vegas and Miami. We'll get to New York in a second. But change in housing inventory, big difference. Las Vegas down just 7%. Miami down 38%. But you go over to the price change, the third column. The price change in Vegas is 31%. They really dropped prices. In Miami, it's only 17%. So, Bob Massey, it looks like Vegas got the message. If you want to move the inventory, you got to lower the price dramatically.
Well, don't forget, John, most banks in this country, by the way, or lenders, I should say, aren't releasing a lot of inventory because if they did, the prices would even plummet even more so. But saying that, 35 years I've been here, I've never seen prices in this marketplace. Average median in Las Vegas, about $138,000, two-bedroom, two-bath condominium. That 4 or 5 years ago, David, was about maybe $300, $350, $375.
All right, Peter Zalewski, am I on to something? Is the fact that the inventory is moving faster in one place and the other has to do with price?
It absolutely has to do with price. We're experiencing something a little bit different here in Miami. We're seeing a lot of foreign nationals who are coming in because of that deeply discounted U.S. dollar, who are simply coming in, taking advantage of pricing that's far below replacement cost. And Miami's got a little bit of a lure, much like Las Vegas. And, you know, I really see these markets stabilizing a little bit quicker than maybe some of the other markets like, say, a Phoenix or a San Diego.
Well, there are some dramatic bargains out there. And, Peter, you've given us a few of them here. One on Sunny Isles Beach, price down $4.9 million to $1.5 million. Can we put that up? This is a discount of 69%. Is that common?
It's about a $3.4 million discount that you saw over the course of about a year and a half. It's not necessarily common, but what you are finding is overall there's about 19,000 pending contracts right now in the South Florida area, Palm Beach, Dade, Broward County. Of those 19,000 contracts, roughly about 85 to 90% are priced at under $350,000 or so. So it's really the high-end product that's not moving whatsoever. And some of these owners who are proud and say that they have the cash to hold on, ultimately they're starting to cut the ripcord, if you or pull the ripcord, if you will, much like this scenario in Sunny Isles.
We got to show some more pictures too. Fort Lauderdale, this property was reduced to $549,000 from $2.25 million. This is a 76% change. And then after that, we're going to look at Palm Beach, a property that was moved down to just about $1 million from 1.3.
Yeah, Palm Beach County hasn't experienced the same type of free fall that we saw in Dade and Broward, and I think that's primarily because the speculators, they didn't go in as hard into Palm Beach County because there tends to be a little bit more wealth there, a little bit more predictability than what you saw in Dade and Broward counties.
All right, now if we can put that chart back up, and I want to go to Dolly if I can. Dolly, New York has been insulated from everything that's happening around the country. Why?
It should be.
But why? What's so different about New York from Las Vegas and Miami?
Well, it's a world city. It's a unique world city. Everyone in the world, the first place they know about almost is New York in America. New York is America to everyone in the world.
But foreigners flock to Miami. Miami is almost a South American country.
It is a South American country, and that's different. They're pegged to the dollar in general, so they're really not the same.
Mark, you agree?
Yeah, I do, but I think one thing that's important is, you know, the markets that were significantly overbuilt, the Floridas, the California, the Phoenix, you know, they're going to experience the most severe correction. In your chart where you showed a 30% correction in price, you're really seeing that investors are now identifying real opportunity to get in at prices that are basically close to what it would cost for the sticks and bricks to build it, not even including the land. And so in that respect, I think it's, you know, that's why price is so key here on when's the best opportunity
now,
to get
Peter,
in.
with all these extraordinary bargains out there, why do we need this $8,000 tax credit expanded?
Great question. If you're asking me as an American, I think it would do a wonderful thing to bring back the economy. I think what it'll do is it'll spur a lot of people who might be on the fence to sort of get in there and start duking it out and start to acquire property. If you ask me based on what my business does, and that's to basically run down prices and buy dirt cheap, I'd love to see the thing expire. I'd love to see the thing go away because it's basically bringing in too much interference for what we do.
Wow. So, Bob Massey, this is actually hurting Peter Zalewski.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you have different views on this whole $8,000 tax credit, and I think that obviously you have to look at the overall market. As was said, not only was this issue of overbuilt, remember, David, they oversold in Las Vegas. They oversold over in Florida over the years, besides just overbuilding. The other issue that we got to talk about, this is very geographical. As you've said it, as your guest, New York has not been affected. We have in Las Vegas, for example, 13% unemployment. Never, ever, ever has happened here. So no matter where these prices are, the people that are coming in are people, the Asians are coming in, they're buying groups. I mean, David, there are people coming to Vegas right now that homes were $350,000 5 years ago. They're paying $115,000 to $120,000, and they're buying them in groups. Yeah. And what are they doing? They're managing them. They're renting them. Rental management in Las Vegas is bigger than it's ever been.
Dolly, is the same happening in New York?
Well, you're seeing people come in and try to buy blocks, but what's happening is the banks are holding up the buildings, so there's no blocks available for sale. If you want to buy a block of property, you have to buy it at par.
Mark?
Yeah, I think that's the inventory is very tight in New York, and that's causing some of the issues there.
Mark Rennes, Dolly Lenz, Peter Zalewski, Bob Massey, good to see you all. Thanks for joining us.